8th graders, this is Mrs. Stimac again. I'm here to show you now how to use the Pythagorean Theorem and solve for when you are given one of the legs and you're also given the hypotenuse or the longest side. How do you solve for that other leg? Once again, I'm using my Pythagorean Theorem formula, which is one of my favorites. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. All right, so I'm using that formula, a squared, and I look to see if, do I have the a yet? And I look over here, and yes, I do have the a. So that is going to be my 8, and I'm going to put squared next to that. Next, I'm going to bring down my plus sign, and I'm going to check to see if I have a b. And I do not have the b at this point. Since I do not have the b, I'm just going to leave b squared written just as is. Next to check, do I have my c or my hypotenuse? And I do this time. I have my longest side, which is my c, and that is 13. So I'm going to put in here 13 squared, just like that. All right, from this point, I'm getting ready to, I need to figure out what my exponents are telling me. So I look here, and I've got a 2 here, so 8 squared is 64. Bring down my plus. Still do not know what this is, so I just continue to bring it down. And then I get to 13 squared. Now let's pretend that we don't know what 13 square is. If you're using your calculator to figure that out, there's a couple different ways you can do it, but I would say the easiest way to do it would be to punch in the 13, and then there's the caret button, which is the little arrow going up. And then since it's squared, you push 2 and then enter. And it'll give you 169. From this point, we are going to draw our line and solve an equation. Okay? Right now, and as you know in an equation, your job is to get the variable alone. So right now, my variable is not alone. He's got the 64 by him. So I need to get this 64 over to the other side. Right now, this is positive 64, so I'm going to do the opposite of positive 64, negative 64, or minus 64. What I do to one side, I do to the other side. These are now gone, because if I have 64 and spin 64, there's nothing left. There'd be 0. I'm still left with this b squared on this side, so I bring that down. B squared equals 169, take away 64. I subtract, and I get 105. Finally, to figure out what the leg is, you're going to do the last step, just like you did on the regular Pythagorean theorem. Find the square root of b squared, and you get your answer. Okay, this is not a perfect square, so I would use my calculator. Once again, I'm going to click the second button, x2, punch in my 105 and hit enter, and I get 10.24. Or I'm just going to do 10.2 is my other leg. There we go, just like that. Okay, I'm going to do this one more time, and I'm going to speed it up. So I want you to try to get a little bit ahead of me if you can, if you're writing this down. I'm going to give you some different numbers, and I'm not going to give you as big of an explanation this time. I'm going to work it a little bit faster, so let's see how you do. I'm going to change my numbers over here. I'm going to continue on this one to go ahead and give you the hypotenuse, and this time let's just say it's 15. And if you are given one of the legs, we can do the B. It doesn't matter which leg you do. You're going to do the work the same way. So this time for the B, I'll say that the B is 9, and we don't know what the A is. Okay, here we go. We're going to work a little quickly. Looking at the formula, a squared I don't know. B squared is 9 equals c squared. Okay, in my calculator, I can do this. I'm going to get 81. If I do 15 squared in my calculator, I'm going to get 225. But I forgot to bring this guy down. So I need to bring my a squared down and my plus. Draw my line, solve my equation. This is positive 81. So I'm going to do the opposite. I am left with a squared on this side equals, I need to do some subtraction here. I get 144. Take the square root of that. My calculator, this is a perfect square, but just as a reminder, you would hit second, x2, 144 and enter, and you're going to get 12. A is equal to 12. That would be your other leg. Good luck. I hope that you understand what you're going to be doing for Pythagorean Theorem when you're trying to find one of the other legs, and continue to practice, and this will be a breeze. Okay, good luck.